though there are different subcategories of spirit brands, we have the whiskey, we have the vodka, we have the gin, we have the bitters, which is quite popular in Africa. Bitters was one of the top subcategories in the spirit market, and action bitters topped that. So for whiskey, we saw a lot of consumers going for Jameson. Then for vodka, we saw a lot of consumers going for Smirnoff, and for gin, we saw a lot of consumers going for Chelsea. One of the key things to note in the spirits market is that prices vary. Price can be as low as 1 or as much as 10 times the price of another. So because spirits can sometimes be a prestige offering, and so the prices tend to vary, which I'm sure if you're familiar with the market, it will be quite something that you may have observed as well. And one thing to note is that the spirits market in Nigeria has a very large unregulated market. Now, we've seen some of the players innovating to get a share of that unregulated market with the small size packaging, with the PET bottle packaging and the likes, but the unregulated market still remains a big chunk of the spirit market. And so we are expecting that there will be some innovations along those lines to capture some of that market as well. Interestingly, for the spirit market, you would see that even though taste is a great factor in brand selection, it accounts for just about 47% of consumer choices. What surprised us was the perception of whether the spirits brand that they are consuming offer them some healthy ingredients or some health benefits. And about 70% of consumers were making this choice because of that. And so it's not surprising that we saw action bitters, which is usually, the bitter brand is usually has the connotation of herbs and the likes. And so I think consumers are interpreting that as healthy ingredients, and as a result, is heavily influencing some of the decisions that they are making in terms of which brand to select or which brand to go for. The purchase points are not so clearly defined. You see that there is a good percentage going through the supermarkets, and then also in the pubs and then in the bars, which also shows that some consumers are buying and consuming at home, especially when they are buying from supermarkets and from open markets and the like. Now, we expect a lot of innovation in the spirits market because we've seen a lot of growing interest from the youth in the spirits market. So the increasing in demand for spirits is expected to be sustained, and we also expect that producers will innovate to meet some of the expectations of the youth for this market.